You on?
Yes.
1 second here. Call to order. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Ling,
Here.
Mr. Lemak,
Here.
Mr. McKenna, Mr. Dice, Mr. Stepanovich,
Here.
Mr. Spadaro,
Here.
Dr. Lee Corns,
Here.
Mayor Sinan.
Here.
Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay, Mr. Morrison, unlisted amendments.
No, Mr. President,
None tonight?
none tonight.
Okay. How about we need a motion to approve the calendar items?
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar items.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? They're approved. Comments by Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, Mr. Spadaro. Tonight we have a proclamation, 21622, for Motorcycle Awareness Month. I'll refer to it as a BATE, but I'll read you what that means first so you won't understand as we go through. Alliance of Bikers Aimed Towards Education. Proclamation of the Mayor of the Municipality of Murraysville, Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania. Motorcycle Awareness Month, May 2022, proclamation number 216-22. Whereas safety is the highest priority for the highways and streets of our municipality and state, and whereas the great state of Pennsylvania is proud to be a national leader in motorcycle safety, education, and awareness. And whereas motorcycles are a common and economical means of transportation that reduce fuel consumption and road wear, and contribute in a significant way to the relief of traffic and parking congestion. And whereas it is especially meaningful that the citizens of our municipality and state be aware of motorcycles on the hot roadways and recognize the importance of motorcycle safety. And whereas members of ABATE of Pennsylvania Incorporated continually promote motorcycle safety, education, and awareness in high school drivers' education programs and to the general public in our municipality and state, presenting motorcycle awareness programs to over 150,000 participants in Pennsylvania. Whereas all motorcyclists should join ABATE of Pennsylvania in actively promoting the safe operation of motorcycles, as well as promoting motorcycle safety, education, awareness, and respect of the citizens of our municipality and state. Whereas the motorcyclists of Pennsylvania have contributed extensive volunteerism and monies to national and community charitable organizations, and whereas in recognition of 45 years of ABATE of Pennsylvania and over 377,147 registered motorcyclists statewide, and in recognition of the continued role Pennsylvania serves as leader in motorcycle safety, education, and awareness. And whereas during the month of May, all roadway users should unite in the safe sharing of roadways within the municipality of Murraysville and throughout the great state of Pennsylvania. I, therefore, Regis J. Sinan, Mayor of Murraysville, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2022 as Motorcycle Awareness Month in the municipality of Murraysville and urge all motorists to improve safety and awareness of our roadways. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the municipality of Murraysville to be affixed this 18th day of May in the year of our Lord 2022. And that concludes my report for this
Thank
evening.
you, Mr. Mayor.
Sure. Come on up.
That's when I sent the letter, so now you can get a hold of me.
Okay. proclamation. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you very much.
Mr. Morrison?
I believe the mayor has some other comments.
I did not have any sheets, but if you want to show them, I'll be happy to read them.
Sorry, Mayor.
That's okay. Okay, Be Smart for Kids. Learn about safe gun storage in your home. Free gun locks will be distributed. The free program is Wednesday, May 25th at 6:30 p.m. the Murraysville Community Center. For info, call 724-327-2100, extension 131 for info. Opening day, Farmers Market, Thursday, June 2nd. Thursdays, 3 to 7 p.m., June through September, 3235 Sardis Road. That's down in the fire department parking lot or the park pavilion down there on Sardis Road. 724-327-2100, either extension 131 or 115. You might want to get there early because some nights they sell out pretty quickly. Okay, discuss decluttering and downsizing to make your move and your home less stressful. See, on the move, organize your life. What if you can't take it all with you? I guess I'm getting to that point too. June 7th at the Murraysville Community Center at 6:30 p.m. There is a $15 charge for this program. More information is available on the MurraysvillePARecreation.com website, or again, the 327-2100 number, extension 131.
That's it, Mayor.
That's it. That concludes my
Now,
report.
Mr. Mayor, I have to apologize. I thought you said you were finished before that.
I'm finished now.
You said you were finished at that one project. Okay. Mr. Morrison?
Several comments, Mr. President. One, the clubhouse is ready to have its open house. We scheduled it for June 3rd at 4 p.m. That's Friday, June 4th at 3 p.m. On Farm Road, right off of Westertown Road, across from the dog park. May 16th, the Public Works Department started their 410s. The splash pad will open June 15th. And that's all. Oh, one other item. They will begin fracking the Titan well the week of May 25th.
Oh, very good.
Mr. Morrison, we made adjustments to the splash pad's water flow last year, right? And repairs?
Yep.
Everyone was asking if it was all ready.
You finished, Mr. Morrison?
Yes, sir, I
I
am.
wanted to make sure. Okay. Community input. Do we have anybody? Thank you. Diana Altieri? Your name and address, please.
My name is Diana Altieri Hand, and I live at 2651 Chambers Park Court. And the reason I'm here tonight is to discuss the Westmoreland Heritage Trail crossings on School Road South, Trafford Road, and Meadowbrook Road. They are atrocious. Somebody is going to die sooner rather than later. It's a crapshoot going through that intersection. People stop when they shouldn't. They're waving people on. The trail crossers on the bikes are one of the biggest offenders of just blowing right through. They're causing people to slam on their brakes from both sides. People stop coming one way, don't stop going the other way. Traffic is getting backed up onto 22. It's horrible trying to get out of Meadowbrook Road at rush hour or when mine safety is getting out. It has taken me over 10 minutes to get out of Meadowbrook Road onto Trafford Road, more times than I want to say. It's because I've lived up there for a long time, so I know the difference in the traffic. There's way too much traffic on those roads to handle a crossing like that. The flashing lights are very confusing for people. They think a flashing yellow light means stop. If there's nobody at that crossing, they are still stopping. And as soon as they see that light flash, they're putting on their brakes. So I really would like something to be done to address it in some way, whether it's new signage, more education. I mean, the police have put out stuff out there about this. The Penn Franklin has published stuff. The Tribune Review has published stuff. something more needs to be done because obviously it's still a problem. So if you could consider doing something, at least discussing it to see what our options are, I'd really appreciate that, and I know many others would. It's a very hot topic on Facebook. I'm surprised that more people weren't here. There's thousands of people that have voiced their concerns. I had a petition at one point 2 years ago. I had started a petition that was sent to the mayor, the police chief, and Robert Brooks, and I was told something would be addressed at that point. Obviously, nothing had been addressed. And I contacted PennDOT. They say the problem is within the municipality because the signs and the flashing lights are correct and that our police department needs to issue citations. That's a waste of our resources. So those are the things that I have personally done to try to get something to alleviate this problem, but I think this really needs to come from our council. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, my response would be, one, that she's correct. PennDOT establishes where, what, and how those intersections are signalized. Second of all, we have police patrolling the trail on a somewhat regular basis. And three, we have public education out there everywhere. I don't know what else to do. People think stop signs are suggestions. They don't obey speed limits. It's a matter of traffic laws and people understanding what the traffic laws are. Bicycles are to stop at the stop sign. The pedestrians are only to cross when it's safe. The vehicles are only required to stop when pedestrians are in the crosswalk. Those flashing lights come on approximately 25 feet before a pedestrian hits the crosswalk. They're warning lights, they're not red lights, they're yellow lights. That means caution, doesn't mean stop. And until people who use the road, drive the road, understand that, and who use the road, use the trail, understand the law, it's not going to change. So we're open to any other suggestions that you have, but I don't know what else we can do here. If you go on the police website, if you go on Facebook, there is a video on there that explains everything. It's on Channel 19. I don't know what else to do other than to put a police officer down there.
That particular point, Jim, if like the rush hour is a bad traffic, but maybe bikers are Saturday or Sunday or whatever, maybe is there like a 3 or 4 hour period on weekends that we should have an officer there just to make sure?
We typically have 3 officers patrolling the municipality. We have 37 square miles, whether it's a Friday or a Saturday or a Monday. There are responsibilities. And I think it's a waste of resources because it's ignorance on the part of the users of the trail and of the drivers of the vehicles, not knowing the state laws.
Sorry. I understand Diana's don't want anyone to die. Is there a possibility, like, certain traffic signals, there's no turn right on red from this time to this time? If during rush hour or on especially busy hours, can we shut it down so that there is no pedestrian crossing? Is that a possibility?
We do not regulate that. The state of
regulate.
Pennsylvania regulates
Okay.
that.
So we have no control over that. I thought.
And to clarify, Mr. Morrison, what I believe you're saying, and I believe we've said, is those lights, the flashing yellow light, that is put in by PennDOT.
That's correct.
We do not have control over that. And I do want to clarify that for the record because a lot of folks, particularly in the Franklin Regional Facebook group, are saying, well, just tell council to take that light out. Council shouldn't have put that light in, but we didn't put it in and we can't take it out.
It's just like any other traffic control device. PennDOT sets warrants on those, what the requirements are, the placing of them, and the activation of them. If the warrants will change, there wouldn't be any crossing there.
This may be crazy, but maybe not as big of a waste of resources. I wonder if it's possible. I know that we have, or there are available, for example, like red light cameras, if somebody runs a red light, that sort of thing. I wonder if we could utilize technology, that intersection, to pick up a couple of plates of cars that are stopping when they should not be, if nothing else.
Yeah. Well, what do you do with them then?
Ticket? I mean, that seems to be the issue that I see is bicyclists typically are stopping, and cars and drivers, I'm seeing drivers say on Facebook, well, it's the courteous thing to do, we can all just afford to slow down and stop for a few minutes. And I see a lot of drivers saying that on Facebook, and they're not the only problem, but you can at least see their license plate, not me, bicyclists.
I don't know if you can take a courtesy.
I don't know. Well, risking though, I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Jim, it's like you said, it's the drivers
Hazard.
that don't pay attention.
I
You know,
guess
some
it
of the
is.
cars are stopping when they don't have to stop, and then they want to let the bikes go. Then they stop, the people behind them are mad because they stopped for no reason. They start to blow their horn, and then everybody's in a turmoil. It's the drivers, if they would pay attention to what they're supposed to do. The controls are there, but nobody's paying attention to them.
Diana said, though, the bikers just go blow right through.
Well, that's another problem, right?
What about, Mr. Morrison, who would, we've all been through construction zones where they have the temporary signs that say merge at merge point or some temporary message. Who would it be PennDOT that would have to put a sign there, a temporary sign that would say cars keep moving, do not yield to
Well,
biker traffic?
Yeah, the Trafford Road is a state highway, so I would think that they would be responsible for regulating that. Although we manage the speed signs for under 35 and under on state roads, but I would think warning signs like that would be the responsibility of the state.
Just for a temporary period so people get the idea.
Yeah, that's,
Well, if you say the cars keep going, then they'll start hitting pedestrians.
And then conversely, who controls the signage on the trails?
Yeah, that was, I was just gonna ask.
Who controls the signage on the trails for a notice to go up, trail users stop at this intersection?
I would think it would be the responsibility of the county.
County.
I think there are advanced signs down there now on the trail, or there were at one point.
Yeah.
They have a red light, flashing red light and stop sign for the bikers, but I think the best thing would be to put additional signage that says, bikers get off your bike, stop until traffic is cleared, and then move on. I can see the crossing from my house, I live on the corner.
Could you come up to the mic so they can get you? Thank you.
If you could say your name and address just for the record, everyone.
Yeah, my name is Jan Backage. I live on the corner of Gristmill Lane and Trafford Road. And so I can see the trail from my front door. And I'm constantly hearing people brakes squealing because some car at the trail crossing has actually stopped to wave somebody through. And then that one, just the other day, that car went, another car went, and then the car behind him stopped and waved somebody through. And in the meantime, cars coming the opposite direction aren't aware that these people crossing, and it frightened me. And at one point, when I was leaving my house and I got down to the trail, the light was flashing. I looked both ways. I didn't see anybody coming, and I kept going, and these two bikers just came right out in front of me. And they are very much violate the stopping at the red light and the stop sign. And the one guy yelled at me, and I said, "You're supposed to stop. If you aren't in the road, I'm allowed to go slowly through that yellow light." And so my big thing was, as you said, if we could get some more definitive kind of signage for the people, not only for the bikers and the pedestrians that are on the trail, but even for the people on Trafford Road, saying, proceed cautiously. If no one's in the crosswalk, you can continue on your way. But it has gotten very dangerous. I don't know about School Road. I don't see it that often. But I know Trafford Road and I know Meadowbrook Road. That Meadowbrook Road has a stop sign, and bikers just walk on out, ride on out like it's not even there. So I do agree with Mr. Morrison that having a police officer there is going to be a real waste of assets. But I think additional signage would possibly help. I've seen the videos about how to proceed through there and everything. So I think as much as the council and municipality can do, they've done. But I think the trail could go ahead and put more definitive signage up so that would be a little bit safer for everybody involved.
If I would contact the state, they're going to tell me that they have already got advance warning there. That's what the yellow lights are for, is to give advance warning of the intersection. And I do believe that last time I was through there were signs on the trail advising the walkers south. It's,
Jim,
There is new additional signage on the Westmoreland Heritage Trail to address that situation.
that's what I thought.
They were just added in the last 2 to 3 weeks.
So,
is there a way to get, I don't know what they are, kind of like a pylon, the big concrete things, they put them at the gas station so you don't run into the poles, but you put them close enough together that they would at least have to slow down in order to get through?
They are available and they are there at this point.
They are. Because I know when we've ridden on some trails, when it's a dangerous place, sometimes they put them close enough you can get through on your bike, but close enough you have to slow down so you don't get hurt.
if I'm not mistaken, that's an emergency access for the trail too. So you have to be able to provide for an ambulance to get through there.
Right there, of course.
Jim, did you say to get signs on the trail, you have to contact the county?
No, there's already signs on the trail. There's signs on the trail.
Right, okay.
May I address I'm not a resident of Murrayville, so may I address it?
Sure.
My name is Stan Rudge. I am president of the Westmoreland Heritage Trail. We have supported this endeavor very deeply. Matter of fact, last year we received a grant from the Laurel Highlands Mini Grant Association to assist in safety and courtesy along the trail. It was late last year that we placed that. We received the grants. We have placed sandwich boards on one side of the trail coming from Meadowbrook Avenue. Right now it says, "Stop, look, and listen," along with the yellow lights and the red lights. We have added, on the Westmoreland Heritage Trail, has added it. We are doing it on the whole trail, length of the trail.
What was your name again, sir?
My name is Stan Rudge.
Stan, are you having issues similar to this in other communities where the trail's running?
I'm only familiar with the Westmoreland Heritage Trail.
What about any of the other communities that it's coming in through?
This is the only crosswalk or cross area that we have that I've received complaints from. One of the things that make this as a challenge is the addition to Meadowbrook in that intersection.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there wouldn't be as much problem there. Because it's a three-way stop sign versus just usually, the bike trail versus a road crossing.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Okay. Anything else on that, Jim? or-
Sure.
My name is Donna Bankowski, and I live on Hermar Court, which comes down to Ivy and down onto Meadowbrook Road. And I'm going to give you just one example, and I think it is continuing public education. I have stopped my car and said to people, we don't want anyone hurt here. Please observe the rules and please watch your children, because little kids are running on their bikes in front of their parents, and that's really dangerous. They're just happy and they're playing and they run across, and the parents are trying to, they're biking all together, but the kids take off. So that's one big issue. The other thing, there was an elderly gentleman, and he's just out trying to get exercise, and he just plows right through, and I'm coming up in my car, and I saw him, and I stopped, and I said, "Sir," and I tried to explain him the rules, and I got every filthy, foul word that you could imagine, and I just felt bad for the man. He just didn't understand. He was very embarrassed. He was elderly, and he was ashamed. Those are some of the issues. I have a suggestion, and I'm willing to be a part of it. I would like some citizens who are concerned about this, who have your permission, to stand at a couple of those intersections a few hours a week. And when someone's going through, say, may we help you be safer at this area? And you can give them a handout, or we can say, you know, if you're a pedestrian, you have the right of way. If you are a biker, you know, and give them all the rules that are necessary there. I'm willing to get a small committee together and do that just for a few weeks and see, because it's not just Murraysville people. Most of the Murraysville people, it's people come from far away and park, and they go to the restaurant down there, and then they come all through. They're not even from our area. And that's probably the biggest problem, because the people who have been coming through here since it's been brand new are learning. But then people coming from work are coming maybe from Pittsburgh to go to a meeting in Plum, or not Plum, but Penn Trafford area, and that they're just cutting through and flying through. They don't care. They just come around, and you know, they're just on their way to a meeting, and then they hit this. They're not even aware it's there to begin with, because they're not even from our area, and that's part of the problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I don't want to carry this on. But as the Westmoreland Heritage Trail, the president, we have what they call a Trail Monitor Ambassador Program. I have 35 trail monitors at this time registered as volunteers. Last year, we collected over 970 hours of trail monitoring, in particular that area. Matter of fact, Ms. Artier is a member of that. I collect hours monthly, and I see it every month, and I get reports from them. We have not had any reports from them in the past, because we started those trail signs last year. If you remember or seen it, there was a crash bike with a A-frame there that described the situation.
Yeah.
It's people not following the rules on the trail, and people not following the rules off the trail on the road. I'll be more than glad to support. I will be more than glad to support anybody that wants to join my trail monitoring program. It's open to anybody public.
How would they get in contact with you? Is there a website or something like that for them to go
You
to?
can contact the Westmoreland Heritage Trail and say you want to get involved in the trail monitoring. We will support it. I just had a class in April. I had 26 members. It wasn't just Westmoreland Heritage Trail, but I trained 26 trail monitors to complete this monitoring program to help support the trail.
Is that on Facebook with all the conversations that are going on? I can certainly add it to the police Facebook. If you want to email me the information on that, I can get it on our
For
website.
the trail monitor,
Mm-hmm.
I can do that, sir. I will have it done.
You have my email address?
Yes. Murraysville, I mean, let's face it, the trail has been nothing but an economic condition and support for all of Murraysville and the other trail. Unfortunately, right now, Murraysville, I mean, it's a booming metropolis, and the trail comes through a very high particular draw of people and crossings. I will support whatever needs to be supported. There's no doubt about it on the Westmoreland Heritage Trail side. We will do what we need. I also have Bob Brooks' representation. He supported me on this endeavor that we did for the safety and courtesy along the trail. I mean, I could add a half a dozen other small little nuances that we have along the trail. I don't want to pollute or dilute what we're having tonight, but there is.
All right, Stan, thank you very much.
Perhaps if we continue to have issues, I think we're at a good spot now. Perhaps if we continue to have issues and complaints in the next month or so, we should schedule an actual session and invite Stan and some community members to have like kind of like a town hall, to have an actual brainstorming session and tackle this.
I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah. So you want to schedule a session?
Let's maybe see how things go.
We can do that in
We
the
need
future,
to.
Jim, huh?
I think that'd be excellent.
Okay, is that Janice Beckley or Buckley? Oh, you already spoke. Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? That's it. Thank you. Liaison comments. And committee reports. Jamie Ling, we'll start with you.
Sure. I attended this evening a Franklin Regional School Board curriculum committee meeting. Started at 5 p.m. and it was still going when I left at about 6:30. So I'd like to finish giving my report after I'm able to secure some more information about what went on after I left. if that's
Okay, thank you. Jamie Lee?
Yes, okay, so my report is kind of twofold tonight. First part I'll keep very short, and you know that pensions aren't doing so great these days. April was our worst month so far for our pension fund, with a loss of 174,000, ended with a value of 29.1 million. Sorry, I'm trying to read my email here. Wasn't great. Right now, I think we're kind of holding with where we were the same time I reported last time, letting the market adjust, hoping that the market will adjust. Separately and secondly, I reported last time that Frank has let us know that he is planning to merge with & That merger is scheduled to take place in January, and for the next 2 years, then he would continue to work with us and to support us. We had a pension meeting this morning, and he had a representative from & here named Christian. Chris would probably be the representative who would ultimately transition into working with the municipality of Murraysville should we continue to work with them. We are not bound to stay with Morrison Fiduciary Advisors or with & for this merger. For the time being, that's his plan. He, as he explained to us previously and through email and then again today, reiterated that he has looked at many options around and felt that this was the most similar to his approach and the best agency to serve us locally. They do have a Pittsburgh office, although it only has 4 employees. Coming out of all of that, he provided a copy of the agreement that we originally signed with him. And he also provided a sheet of paper. It's a consent for assignment of Morrison's investment advisory contract. Essentially, what he iterated is that they would keep the same fee structure that we currently have in place. I asked Chris how long that they typically are honoring the contracts that towns or other entities had, and he said it's been about 3 years before they look to make a change. So about 3 years that supposedly he said he could commit to honoring the same fee structure. They explained that even though this document says it's consent for assignment, it's not a commitment, but rather they're looking for us to sign, and it would be council president to sign, simply acknowledging that we've been informed that this is the action that he plans to take, and that we're consenting to Morrison Fiduciary sharing our information with & so that they can start to be onboarded in preparation to support the municipality of Murraysville to make the transition as seamless as possible. So still looking at a lengthy lead time, but he would like us to sign the document saying that we've been informed he plans to do this. Should we wish to work with anybody else at any time, we can give them notice. Technically, our contract with Frank said 90 days notice. I understand the SEC actually only requires 30 days. We can do it in 30 days, but that's not really feasible because if we wanted to pick a new firm, you know how long things take like that. In any case, so we're not bound to stay with them, but he would like us to sign acknowledging we've been informed that he's planning to transition over the next year, couple of years, and after meeting with the committee, after Frank and Chris left, it's the recommendation of the committee to sign acknowledging this now so that we can start to put the steps in place and to give them a chance to see how they may support the municipality.
Did they give any idea how the fee structure might change after 3 years?
No, I mean, presumably it would go up a little bit, but it actually, I think, if I understand correctly, Mr. Morrison, it actually went down a little bit from what was originally in the
That's
original
correct. It
contract.
was
because of how well our-
renegotiated because of the increase in the value of the assets.
Thank you.
Yep, and I did also ask Mr. Morrison if he could look into, and our committee, if they could look at some of the other communities that have recently started to work with & in the area to see if they're pleased with & and also to try to learn what some other townships and municipalities and boroughs, who they're going with, who they're happy with, particularly for pension funds that were in a similar strongly funded status like ours. So they're looking into that as well.
Thank you, Jamie.
Just thinking, Mr. Morrison would have a keen interest, but no.
No relationship, none.
The Parks and Recreation Foundation met on May 9th updates are as follows. The whole boards, or slabs, if you will, they're made of concrete, are in... It was. Thank you. Oh, okay. Okay. Parks and Recreation Foundation meeting, May 9th. The cornhole boards made out of concrete are installed at Marysville Community Park. The foundation received a $1,000 donation from Walmart. It's earmarked for the Trail Stencil Project, and thanks to Paul Orris of the foundation. The foundation is working on a mission statement and signage for the donation tower in Marysville Community Park is being worked on as well. The Planning Commission met last Tuesday, May 10th. The first issue covered was a 19.3 acre parcel on Logan's Ferry Road near the intersection with Sardis, and that is the public hearing, if you will, and what they're asking for is rezoning from R1 to R3. There's going to be the Planning Commission was approached by Dollar General with regards to a store on Route 66 north of Delmont. Just a few statistics there. The store is 10,300 square feet, 43 parking spaces. The one question that was somewhat controversial was, can a large truck, make the bends with the parking and the layout that they provided, and we were assured that it was. A lot of the other items, environmental, air quality, and lighting were discussed, and it seems things are going to be in order. They're waiting back for the storm sewer evaluation. The final issue was an advisory meeting about a major development that would be 54.5 acres along Westertown Road in Hilty. They indicated it's not going to be a spot zone. It would be, or will be, a planned residential development. And once again, this is an advisory meeting. They are planning to have 2-acre lots, 150 to 160 foot frontage. The lots will have public sewage. And there was a discussion as to whether there would be, maintain the R1 zoning, or whether it would be R1 with the planned residential. The estimated starting prices for the homes in that area would be between $750 and $800. Just as a comment, the attorney representing the owner was Bill Sittig, and if I just might mention, he was the attorney for the Titan Well project, the representing counsel, and that's it.
Very good. We remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Lemak.
The library meets tomorrow evening. Yes.
Very good. And Medic 1 meets tomorrow night also. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Okay, workshop items. Administrative, 9A. Is that you, Jim?
Last month's, earlier this month's meeting, we had discussed the possibility of development of an ordinance to establish a do not knock provision for peddlers and solicitors in the municipality. Council believed that that was a good idea to pursue, so staff put together a draft of the ordinance trying to incorporate the comments that were received from the last meeting and were provided to you. So at this point, I would open it up for questions, discussion on the draft ordinance as it was presented.
I have,
Just for a note now, Jim, real quick, they're already around. I guess.
Yeah, they're
hitting the
starting.
neighborhoods right now.
Well, they're out there without a permit probably, because I don't think we issued any permits.
so I have a couple comments and questions. One on page 2, number 3, under exemptions, it said for persons under the age of 18, is that 18 used because then they would be considered minors? My
Yeah.
question is because seniors in high school who often go around selling banned fruit and hoagies and things like that can be up to the age of 19. So would they need to get a permit then?
No,
Language was kept?
that was exempt under the one provision there. I'm trying to find it here.
I think that was the one.
Print's getting smaller.
Newspapers, grass cutting yard work, bakery products, sandwiches, candy.
And the likes, yes.
Yeah, but it still says under the age of 18, not under or equal to.
I mean, in theory, if they're extreme special needs, it's 21, right? Technically, which,
Right.
I don't know if we want to nitpick
But-
that or
or
just
if-
say if they're
we
selling
could
for a
say high
school or
school, like
A lot of
something,
fundraisers too.
school fund.
fundraising, say, or
Under the exemptions include school fundraising.
School or athletic fundraising for youth.
Uh,
How about school or athletic fundraising for youth and kind of leave it blanket? No. Because that way, I think we'll know.
yeah.
You guys good with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, school or athletic fundraising for youth.
Yeah.
Right, I just still think we have to be careful about the age.
Why don't we just say youth,
Just eliminate the
number?
number.
And if it's not school or athletic, then
Right.
can't think of what else.
My second question was, on page 4, it talks about fees set.
Oh, excuse me, let me understand what you want. Do you
Oh.
want both or just one?
What do you guys think? Do you think if we just take out 18, or if we say students enrolled in the district?
But what if they're homeschooled? What if they're Greensburg Central? I
That's
mean,
true.
why don't we just say youth fundraising? That,
How do we define youth?
for school or athletics? Yeah.
Well, everybody that does these duties is somebody you know, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to
Usually
nitpick it.
kids
I
in the
don't care.
neighborhood.
You know, an 8-year-old is at my door with their mom or their dad. I'm not going to be like, well, you're over 18. If they're there for the purpose of fundraising for a youth activity, or school or sport.
Here's what I'm seeing. So I'm seeing somebody gets on the do not knock list.
Uh-huh.
And an 18-year-old football guy
Right.
comes up on her porch to sell hoagies or whatever it is. She calls the police saying, hey, I have an adult here on my porch soliciting and I'm on the do not knock list.
But he would say I was there for school or sports.
But it's under the age of 18.
Well, I'm saying take that out and replace it. I'm saying strike the age completely. We don't need to care about an age because I could have an 8-year-old at my door with a 30-year-old parent.
I still think it should be an or statement in there for persons under or equal to the age of 18 or currently enrolled in local schools or currently, I don't know how you want to put it. You know what I'm trying to say, Jim? Currently still high school, being educated, whether that includes at home. I see what you're saying. It is hard. It is hard to define that.
What do you want to do, take that out?
Do you
That's
think
what
we
Jamie wants
need
to
to
do.
have an age number, or do you think we could take away the number and just say, for purposes of selling for youth educational or athletic activities? Which would enable their parents to come, it would enable the 18-year-old football player selling hoagies, it would
Right.
enable the Girl Scouts to sell
They're
their
under
stuff.
a separate, the Girl Scouts as a total. are
Community.
under the separate
So,
too.
so youth for
Well,
athletic.
maybe it could be Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, or then we could put youth or athletic organizations in number 4 instead. They're not really a similar organization, but
Similar purposes.
yeah.
Maybe they could articulate that so that we can get it
Yeah.
on record.
Jamie Ling, want to go right through that, exactly what you want?
Jamie Lee?
Ling, because you've got the
Okay.
next number up.
Well, I'm not sure what exactly we decided on, to be quite honest. We had a number.
Striking the age
So
clause.
we
why we're
could,
asking you.
so one possibility would be to completely strike the age out and say, let's see, or we could, well, no, those are separate. we could just say, include school or athletic fundraising.
Jamie, I like that one where you mentioned the Girl Scout, Boy Scout, and
And just add it there, leave
It's simple.
13 alone. I still think we should at least say,
I mean, 3, right?
yeah, leave 3 alone. What did I say, 13?
That's all right.
It's been a long day.
So you want the 18 changed to 19?
I think we could just leave number 3 exactly as is, and we'll expand on number 4. Right, Jamie?
And then add a section to, add a number 7 to the exemptions to include school or athletic organizations.
Right, I still think we need to change number 3. I'm sorry. I'm going to go back.
What
to
age
this.
do you want to do, though?
And here's, well, I would say 19 because. I
But they could
mean,
be up to 21
they
in school
could be,
still.
And then they could get an exemption somehow. You know, they could maybe get something through the, I think that would be highly unlikely if they're 21 and still in high school that they're going to be doing,
Well, they might be doing the grass cutting. or
well,
the-
they might be, but they might not be too. I still think we want to be careful but not have anybody take advantage of it. I mean, 18 is the legal age of adulthood, right? But they're also still, could still be in high school. I don't want anybody who wants to go grass cutting and they're still in high school trying to get money, having to go pay $50 for a permit. I don't think, you know, they're still a kid if they're still in high school, as far as I'm concerned. So maybe it could say persons under the age of 18 or still attending school. It doesn't have to say what school,
They could be in college.
right?
School.
I was
A secondary level school, secondary school.
Okay, Jamie, what's the first thing you want to do? Change the age? What?
I think we should change the age to under or equal to 18. 18 years of age or under,
You want to change that?
at least. Yeah.
To what?
18 or under or 19. What's the consensus? We need to come to a consensus. It can't just be what I want.
18 or
What
No,
we
I'm
all
asking
think,
you what you
right? I
want.
mean, what do you guys think?
18 or under.
18 or under, okay.
That's the way it was.
No, it was under 18. Did not include 18. That's a less than
Under the
sign,
age of
not a
18.
less than or
Okay,
equal
18
to.
or under, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think that covers 3, and then the same thing to 4, about, you know, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, or high school.
Athletic.
Athletic, school or athletic
Solicitation.
organization.
Yeah.
You know, any school, athletic or school organization. Is that, are you okay with that?
I don't feel very strongly about it. I just want to add the
I
youth or
just-
athletic.
Okay. Then I have another couple questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, so on page 4, number 4, it says fees shall be set by the ordinance. Are those the same fees that are right now in 169, or are they going to be changing?
That's the fees that are in the fee ordinance.
Okay. I just didn't know if they were going to be.
Yeah, they're already established in the fee ordinance that
I
we
read those.
address every
I
year.
read those online. I just wanted to make sure that okay, they weren't.
I don't.
And then my other is just kind of
I
a
usually do
notation
this on
issue.
Monday.
From page 6 to page
didn't do it
7,
on
it
Monday.
goes from section 10, number 2 to section 10, number 4. I don't have a number 3. Am I missing that? Is there something missing, or was it just a numerical or, you know, error?
Section,
What section are you on?
Page 6, section 10, down at the bottom, it has number 2, and up at the top of page 7, it starts with number 4. So there is no number 3. So either it got eliminated somehow, or just there's a misnumbering.
yeah, there's a misnumbering there.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
Okay. So it's 18 and under,
Mm-hmm.
and then exemption school or athletic organizations, and then the numbering under section 10.
And then I had one other question.
Sure.
Okay, so was Chief Seafeld contacted at all about his feelings on the ordinance, and if he thought that this might increase any unnecessary phone calls or anything like that?
The draft ordinance was distributed to the staff. I'll receive comments next Tuesday at staff.
Others, before I jump in?
What else?
All right, a couple quick questions to make sure I'm reading and understanding correctly. My understanding is that if an applicant is issued a permit and they subsequently, in some capacity, not even related to this, obtain a criminal record, then they have to disclose that to the municipality, that's correct? Would we then revoke their permit? So my understanding is that if they have a criminal record, including a sexual offense record, we may not issue the permit?
We would not issue.
Is that spelled out anywhere that I'm missing? Because I feel like I'm seeing that it's very clear that we're doing the background check, but not what happens based on the results. For example, if I don't know, they had a verbal altercation with somebody 20 years ago, I don't know if that bothers me as much as if they have a very recent assault or possession or. And we may already have, I'm sure we already have criteria that our police use, but it might be helpful to define that a little bit. Or maybe we are and I'm just missing it, but it's a long day, 1 week.
So you want a statement saying in there that if they have a criminal record, the permit will not be issued?
I'd like to examine that, and I don't know that every criminal record should exclude everybody. What do you think? But I think.
I think we get in too much finesse there. I'd say no. We don't want anybody with a criminal record out there soliciting door to door.
Okay, that's easy for me. And then I think.
Period, yeah.
I'm fine with that then. I think we probably need to spell out, unless I'm missing it in here, that if a permitted person does accrue a criminal offense, that they need to report it. Because I noticed page 5, section 9.2, that they can get in trouble if they fail to disclose it, if it occurs after the permit was issued, but I don't think it explicitly requires them to disclose it.
To disclose the criminal record?
If they get it after the permit's issued. It says they can get in trouble if they didn't come back and tell us, but I don't think it says they have to come back and tell us. Maybe we should add that.
I'm not sure I follow. So how would we know if it happened after we issued the permit?
Well, we're saying if we find out that we're going to revoke their license, right?
That's correct, as a result of the
Yep.
criminal background that they have to present as part of the application.
Maybe it's as simple as stating under revocation of permit for item 2, maybe it's just clarifying it that if a person issued a permit receives a criminal conviction after the permit is issued, it is their responsibility to tell the municipality. Failure to disclose, I don't know. Maybe you guys think it's already specific enough? 9.2. You think it's good enough?
If we happen to find out that there is, after a permit has been issued, that someone has been guilty of a criminal issue, we basically say your permit's canceled.
Yep.
Is that too simple?
Yeah, it's failure to disclose a criminal conviction of the applicant after the permit is issued. So we find out after, it'll be suspended, and we wouldn't issue the permit if there was one beforehand because we're asking for a criminal background check.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm good with that.
But if you
That's been
happen
on
to
my mind.
hear,
You guys say
or
any
you see it in the
conviction
newspaper, the guy committed the crime.
whatsoever. I mean,
you
are
take
you
the
gonna,
permit off of
I
it.
think there's misdemeanors and there's felonies. And I think it should be up to the DMO to determine whether the offense was great enough to not issue. I mean, they could have like trespassed when they were 16 and, well, or 18 or whatever. And now they're 22 and they're trying to make a living. So, and as somebody who doesn't want them to knock on their door, they are going to be on the do not knock list. So it's not going to matter. I think it should be up to his discretion. I mean, I'm sure if somebody's convicted of rape, they're not going to issue the permit.
Right.
So what should I issue the permit for and what not?
I don't know, because,
Criminal trespass, I wouldn't issue a permit
Yeah, I
for.
think-
well, okay, I'm just giving an example.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
or
silly things that
property
maybe somebody did in their
destruction.
youth.
Property destruction, I wouldn't issue a permit for. So I'm not real sure what.
Are you more on board with a zero tolerance for any criminal?
That's what,
Yeah.
I think that's what we're all saying.
All right.
If a person has a criminal background, he gets no permit. That's it.
I'm more for that.
Huh? That's
I'm
it.
more for that.
If he clears the criminal background check, he gets the permit.
Okay,
You can't start to worry about if he did this and if he did that,
okay.
because then you're gonna go crazy.
You know, there's lots of other jobs they can get. Yeah.
Maybe.
So where are we?
That's the way we were, right, Jim?
I think we're good.
Good.
Right. Hmm?
Good.
Carl, anything else?
No, that's it.
James?
Jason?
Jason?
All good, thank you.
Jim, thanks for putting all the time into this. I know we had a
Oh, no
whole
problem
heap
at
of
all.
feedback last time, and it's really exciting to have this idea brought forward and to be able to protect
It
folks in the
is.
community who, everyone's complaining
yeah,
about
it
fox
is-
pest control now.
It's just like any ordinance, you know, if you try to be all-inclusive, you go from a document that's 4 pages to
Yeah.
40 pages, and
Yeah.
you can't think of every instance, and then you're back in trying to amend it. I think it's just a reasonable interpretation of what the intent is what should be included in the ordinance. And thank you. All right, so exemption school and athletic organizations, change it to 18 and under, and the renumbering of the section 10.
That's it.
Does that cover everything?
I think so.
All right, great. If you wish, then I'll proceed to put an action item on the next agenda to authorize advertising.
Okay. Okay.
14A.
Engineering, nothing. Community development, nothing. Parks, Public Works and Parks, nothing. Okay, council action item, administrative. Community development, 14A.
Make a motion to authorize the purchase of a 2021 Ford EcoSport through CoStars in an amount not to exceed $23,000.
Second the motion?
Anything, Jim?
Yeah, just for a little bit of background, the policy here has been to try to rotate police vehicles out after 80,000 miles because we've done several studies to show that the maintenance on those vehicles and the safety of those vehicles just aren't worth it beyond the 80,000 miles. So what happens is we begin to trickle those vehicles down. They'll go to the police administrative staff, and then they'll come to the administrative side. We've tried to get a little more out of the vehicles because of availability and the COVID, et cetera, and we just got caught this time. We just didn't have a vehicle to bring into code enforcement. The one we tried to, the transmission went. It's a $6,000 repair. The sticker's probably only going to be good for 1 year on it because it's starting to rust. So it was staff's opinion, rather than throwing good money after bad, this vehicle was available. We did get notice today that they're willing to accept the vehicle that we want to get rid of as a trade-in for $7,000. So it's going to be approximately a $17,000 purchase.
Jim, just as a question, what is the mileage?
The mileage on this vehicle to 4 miles.
Well, it says 2021.
Yep, it's still in the lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
we lucked out.
that's good.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? $15A.
I'd like to make a motion to consider award of contract DPW-1-22, the 2022 overlay paving project in the amount not to exceed $1,500,000.
Second the motion.
This is our annual road paving program. It's funded through the Capital Reserve. We had originally anticipated the budget at $1,250,000. We've since allocated some of the money we transferred through the ARP funds to the capital reserve, and that's where the balance of this amount will come from. We'll be both doing overlay and surface treatment. We've had some good luck with the alternate treatments. We're expanding that this year.
With the list of bidders here, Jim, it is interesting that the low bidder, Tresco, put a bid for $1,740,017.50, but Tresco is willing to agree to $1,500,000? Okay.
That's specified in the bid document, whatever the award is. We can add and subtract.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, 15B. Somebody like to make a motion?
Make a motion to award a contract to Gibson Thomas Engineering for inspection services of DPW-1-22 overlay project, not to exceed $25,220.
Second.
Thank you, Jamie Corn and Jamie Lynn.
This is the inspector that we have on the job for the overlay project. And this is funded through the general fund.
Any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, 15C, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to consider reducing the letter of credit held to ensure completion of the required improvements at the Reagan Ridge development in the amount of $671,047.30.
Second.
Thank you, Jamie Lynn and Jamie Corns.
We passed the site, they're moving along quite nicely there. And to build a nice building pad on the lot across the street from them. Which should be coming in July to Planning Commission.
Any questions or comments?
No, if the staff recommends it, I think that I agree to it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Motion passed. Okay, nothing on Public Works and Parks. Any old business, Mr. Morrison?
No, sir.
Any new business?
I'll follow up with Mr. Rudge and see what we can do with the trail to educate
Yeah.
drivers and walkers.
Okay, we're going to adjourn for an executive session,
Okay.
There will not be any action coming
and
up.
no action will be coming. Thank you.